Lately, I have felt pretty lonely and I want to talk about it. I just finished the dog grooming salon today and I have a few errands to run. So hopefully that will give us enough time to talk through everything that I want to go through in this video today. At this point, I'm perfectly convinced that the loneliest time of our lives is in our 30s, especially in your late 30s. And this is what I'm feeling right now. When we think about loneliness, it just sounds so bad. It sounds so isolating. Normally it relates to the group of people who are introverts, socially awkward. And this is where we need to draw the line, because actually there is a difference between solitude and loneliness, because a lot of times we just think about the social interactions aspect. Solitude is a state of being alone, and quite frankly, I enjoy it very much. Loneliness is different. However, I feel like loneliness is more of a lack of connection. So we might be desiring this level of connection, but this is the actual connection that we have now. And this gap is naturally what makes us feel lonely. And therefore, this desire of connections is different for different people. And therefore, the reasons why we feel lonely is different. And when we talk about loneliness, a lot of times we think about friendship, which is probably a suitable subject for me to talk about first. You know, as someone who enjoys making videos on the internet, and most of the times I probably talk to dogs more than I talk to humans, it is extremely hard for me to make new friendships. And because I also moved away from where I was living for 8 years, it is also difficult for me to retain the friendships that I already made. And I've moved countries a couple of times now, and I feel like every time I move, I always have to sacrifice some friendships. I always lose some friendships. You know, one thing that I have to admit is that making friends in our 30s is really hard. I feel like a lot of time friendships in the 30s are more superficial than friendships when we are younger. And I feel like no one wants to have like a heart-to-heart conversation anymore. Some people who never moved away, who never experienced the same thing that I have experienced, they're not open to new friendships because they already established their own friendships and they're not interested in making new ones. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because if we look back to our first point, that loneliness is about that lack of connections that we desire. I feel like there are certain level of connections that I need that I haven't really got from the circle of friends that I had before. In the past year, I've also become a different person now, and with that comes with the different kind of connections that I crave. I might enjoy going out, drinking, binge drinking in the past, and that's kind of how I built circle of friends and previous connections before. But that's not necessarily what I want from a friendship now, and I kind of want a different kind of connections. So if you feel a little bit lonely, especially in terms of friendships, maybe it's a good thing. That means the door is open for you to find that connections that you need, that you not currently get, but it's something that you can search for. And by the way, this video is not all about me ranting away about all of my problems. I do have some plans and solutions to tackle all these problems, so stay tuned until the end of the video. Okay, plan for the day is first going to pick up the shopping that I ordered last night, and then I'm going to the gym with my employee. We'll be doing some weights and then 30-minute spin class. Do you feel like as you get older, time goes quicker? I am honestly trying to still fine-tune my new routine. It's been a couple months now since I moved, and I still feel like I haven't found like that perfect morning and evening routine. I've been testing working in a shop in the morning, working at home in the afternoon, and vice versa, but I just still haven't found this perfect routine just yet. What I find as well as I get older, that less and less people can relate to me. The reason why I say our 30s is probably the loneliest year. Statistically speaking, people who get married in their 20s normally in their 30s is the time for their first divorce. I mean, if that even happens at all. And I don't wish that on anyone. And if people don't get married in their 20s, their 30s is the time that they get married. And then there is a group of people who still haven't found that person in their 30s. So it's not like when we were younger in our school years or in our early 20s where everyone was going to school, everyone was on the same journey. Our 30s is a time where a lot of life transitions happens, and most of the time they are unique to you and nobody else. You know, and it's not just about getting married. Maybe you have been in the same career for a while and you know that that's not right for you. So you're going through career transition. Maybe you're becoming a parent while your friends aren't. Or maybe you're moving city, you're moving country like myself. I just feel like there are a lot of big transitions in life that happened in this decade that can sometimes make us feel lonely. Because remember, loneliness doesn't come from having people around you, but it is about connections. And it's hard to find someone to connect with you when you are going through the journey where other people aren't. And this is kind of where I'm feeling at the moment. You know, the friends that I used to have, I don't think they can relate too much or even agree with what I'm doing, and why it is so hard sometimes to maintain that connections. So really, I feel like sometimes, you know, the feeling of loneliness, especially in our age, should be sort of expected because everyone goes through it. So what I'm trying to say here is that I don't think there is particularly anything wrong with you or it's your fault that you feel lonely, but it's just a normal part of being humans, especially at this critical time where everyone goes through different paths and making different decisions that's best for themselves. By the way, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I absolutely love silky rope, and this rope from Lovelies feels luxurious. It's made from chamois, which feels and mimics authentic silk, but just much more affordable. I really do love the pattern and the design, and I feel elegant wearing it. And the best part is Lovelies has been kind enough to give you all 20% discount. Just use the code POPPY20 at checkout. Okay, I feel like I need some distractions talking about this, so I'm going to make some brownies, but not any normal brownies. We are making oats brownies today, which I haven't made before, so let's see how that turns out. I have thought long and hard whether I wanted to talk about this, especially publishing it online, because it's such a taboo subject. But then I look back at why I started the channel to begin with. I wanted to share all my experiences being where I am right now, whether they are good experiences, bad experiences, and all the lessons I've learned. And I feel like more and more people are experiencing fertility issues, which means more and more people are feeling lonely. And my only hope in mentioning this in this part of the video is that if you're going through something similar, I just want you to know that you're not alone. I think when I started trying, same as any other people, I guess, I sort of expected to get pregnant straight away. And I thought to myself, you know, oh, maybe I hadn't given it enough time, so maybe I should just wait a little longer. So I waited a little longer and a little longer. And you know, as we were waiting, life happened, and there were some years that we were focusing on other things and we didn't make pregnancy a priority. And here we are, you know, 5 years into the process, and it still hasn't happened. And this year I kind of realized that if I don't make it a priority now, it will probably never happen for me. So hence why I started the IVF journey, and I have to say that so far it's been pretty awful, but you know, I'm trying to be positive. I feel like this is too thick. So the only advice I would give for people who is younger is that don't believe when your cousins tell you that they know someone that get pregnant after she's of certain age. Honestly, we're talking about genetics here. It's so unique to you as an individual. It's also unique to you as a couple. So do yourself a favor and get yourself checked earlier on if there could be any potential problems.